Hey everybody, welcome to episode 2 of TQM Trims. This is my first sort of check-in video where we sort of talk about how I've done with keeping up with my short-term goals, and I'll also put any updates to any long-term goals that I might have. I don't really have a lot of that to talk about today, but we'll get into some of my short-term stuff in just a bit. So I didn't really mention this in my first episode, but I do plan on having these episodes be pretty short. There's not really a whole lot to talk about, and also it's honestly kind of a little embarrassing to record these videos, especially so close to home. Whenever we're traveling internationally, I was never really bothered about recording myself in public, but it feels just a little awkward doing it so close to home because it's like these people might know me. They'll be like, what the heck is he doing? So I do try to keep these as short as possible. So once again, we're taking fare for a nice long walk today, although today it's a little bit brighter than last time, so hopefully the video will be a little bit better quality than last time. As you might have noticed, I actually am trying out a new camera bag right now. This is the Peak Design Sling 10-liter bag, and it's something that I actually might try to do a review on for TQM Tech. After walking around Japan with my big camera bag, I decided that I wanted something a little bit smaller in order to fit into bigger crowds with and have something a little more discreet almost. So I decided to get this bag, which was a good deal smaller than my camera backpack. And when I was actually shopping around, I was unsure if I wanted the 10-liter or the 5-liter. Ultimately, I settled on getting the 10-liter, thinking I might get the 5-liter a little bit later if I wanted something even smaller. But honestly, this bag is plenty small enough, I think. I don't think I'll end up needing the 5-liter. And I'd like to do a video review sort of showing different configurations you can make with this bag for what sort of gear fits inside. Because I noticed with a lot of the reviews, they would show off empty bags to see what pockets they were in and sort of talk about what you could fit, but it was something I couldn't really visualize. So I'd like to do that and show different camera arrangements you can put in. If I'm bringing 2 camera bodies, what lenses can I still fit, that sort of thing. So that might be something I put on TQM Techs in the near future. All right, so first things first, we're gonna talk about weight. So on Monday when I recorded the first episode, I weighed myself at about 304 pounds. And I think something was either up with my scale or maybe I'd eaten a lot of food right beforehand. I just really don't remember. But the very next day, I'd actually dropped back down to around 294, 295. And that's about where I've been seeing myself for most of this week. So I don't know what was up with that. So I think this sort of 294, 295 is my real start weight, but we'll see. So today is Saturday, August 10th, and I did weigh myself in the morning. I believe I was around 294 or 295, but honestly, I just don't remember because I was a little sleepy after waking up, and then I had a lot to do in the morning. I had to get a lot of board games that I'm selling packed up in order to send after selling them on eBay. And then after that, I got ready to do some board game streams on my Twitch channel. And then I just sort of forgot what my weight was between that time. So I'll probably have to try to write it down or something next time to hopefully keep up with more accurate numbers. But I am gonna weigh myself right when I get home after this walk. And that weight will be in the title. So we will still know exactly what I did weigh today on Saturday, August 10th. So let's sort of talk about how I did over the course of this week as far as my short-term goals are concerned. In episode 1, I said that my main goals are really just to try to eat less and do one type of physical activity a day. And I feel pretty good about my accomplishments this week, especially with the exercise front. So we'll talk about that first. So I'm happy to say that I did keep my promise to myself to do one type of physical activity a day. I was hoping to actually do a little more variety, but I did take one walk a day. So each walk was at least 10 minutes long, some going up to 30 minutes, like this one that I'm doing today. So I'm pretty happy with myself getting outside and being a little more active. Now this upcoming week, I'm hoping to do more of the same. I'll keep doing cardio, and I do actually plan on doing some more like calisthenics, like push-ups, sit-ups, things like that in order to increase muscle strength along with doing more cardio. As far as my diet's concerned, I think I did pretty well, but there's definitely some room for improvement. Lisa and I ate in most of the week, and on those days, I did a very good job making sure I didn't eat too much. And then after we'd eat, I'd go for my walk, so I felt pretty good about myself with those. Now, as it got closer to the weekend though, Lisa and I do tend to eat out a little more, and I think for the most part, I did pretty well. There's actually one night that I'm very proud of. We went to a Mexican restaurant on Thursday night for dinner, and I ordered a pretty large quesadilla, and I sort of forced myself to only eat half of the quesadilla and save the other half for my lunch the next day. So I kept with that, and I felt really good about myself for that. I've also done a good job making sure to reduce my sugar intake because I do love drinking sodas a lot. And for the most part, when I'm drinking sodas at home, I've switched over to either diet or zero varieties of sodas. So I'm keeping my sugar intake down that way as well. The biggest area where I had room for improvement, however, is exactly where I expected. I had one trip for work this week on Wednesday. I thought I was starting off strong because usually in the mornings when I'm driving somewhere, I'll stop at Chick-fil-A or something for breakfast, and I'll usually get 2 breakfast sandwiches, but I actually ended up skipping breakfast completely this time. But I think that ended up proving a problem because when I got to lunch, I was super hungry and I gave into temptation and I got 2 burgers when I was at McDonald's for lunch. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to meet that goal where I would eat a little bit less while traveling for work. So overall, it has been a short week. Again, I recorded the first episode on Monday, and today's only Saturday, so it hasn't quite been a full week yet. But I'm pretty proud of myself for sticking to my goals for this short term so far, and I'm hoping to stick to them for this next full week coming up as well. So in this next week, my goals are pretty much the same. I'm hoping to do 1 type of physical activity a day, and I am planning on doing a little more variety as well, not just going for walks every day. And for food, I'm hoping to eat less than what I would have in the past. Unfortunately, I don't have any trips this week for work, so I won't get to really test myself, but hopefully I continue to eat less, and that will help with the weight loss as well. As far as other developments, Lisa and I did end up signing for that 5K that I mentioned in episode 1. I'm actually really looking forward to it. It's in the end of November, and it's actually a race that you start right outside of the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. You'll run around downtown Atlanta for a little bit, and then the finish line is actually at the 50-yard line inside the stadium, so I'm really looking forward to doing that. And then as far as long-term goals, I still haven't done enough research into what's sort of feasible, but by the end of the month, I'm hoping to get down below 290 pounds. So that's about 4 or 5 pounds right now. I definitely think that's doable for the couple of weeks I have left in the month. If I hit 285, then that'll be even better, but as of right now, my goal is just to lose 5 pounds and get below 290. But that's all I have for this video today. Thank you guys for tuning in, and again, for all the encouragement that I've already received from everyone who's watched the videos so far. I'm hoping to continue on to make these self-improvements to myself, and we'll catch you guys next week. Until then, cheers.